My name is Midge Slater. I am the field organizer for the Iowa Alliance for Retired Americans. And you may be wondering, what in the world is a senior organization doing talking about the importance of raising the minimum wage? Well, it's really a no-brainer when you think about the fact that Social Security is kind of based on what you made during your working years. I'm not the expert on this today. My friend Linda is, but let me just set the stage quickly. In 2011, we received a grant from Wider Opportunities for Women and joined with the Gerontology Institute at the University of Massachusetts to come up with what it really costs seniors in each of our 99 counties to live economically secure. The figure is considerably higher than what the federal government says we need. And in 2011, we published these figures. In 2012, the Gerontology Institute came in and redid those figures, and we discovered that there was a 6% increase in the cost to seniors in each of the 99 counties in the state of Iowa. Now, if you're not on Social Security, you may not remember that during those years, we were not getting an increase in Social Security. So our Iowa seniors, who we always assumed were doing quite well, actually were not. So we did a study. We did an interview of several seniors in the 8 counties surrounding Polk County to just figure out what in the world they were doing to live economically secure. We identified them because they were seniors who, lo and behold, after retirement, were still working. They weren't working for PIN money, they were working for money to survive. And one of them is my friend Linda. She's the real expert on this issue, and I yield to you.
Thank you. My name's Linda Stockbauer, and most of my life I worked minimum wage jobs, temporary jobs that back in the day, the minimum wage was $3.50, so you know I made a lot of money. I had to raise 4 children, and if it wasn't for my dad, I never would have made it. My kids never would have made it. They're all doing well today, but I'm not. I live on $592 worth of Social Security. A third of that goes to my rent, which is a wonderful thing because I live in City of Des Moines housing, and if I didn't live in City of Des Moines housing, I would never be able to make it. I get $15 a month in food stamps. That will only buy maybe 2 days worth of groceries if you're buying what you really need to eat. I eat a lot of TV dinners and pot pies, and I'm so sick of them I could just croak. And if it wasn't for my friend that moved into my building, who likes to cook and gives me his leftovers, lots of nights I wouldn't eat anything. You'd think by my size that I eat a lot, but I don't. I go without all kinds of things because I think I need to save every penny I can get because things happen. I have a 1998 Ford Escort wagon that after paying $300 for new tires, the guy at the tire store told me that I need about $700 worth of work done on the rear end because I need springs and struts, which I have no idea what they are, but I can't afford them anyway. So I'll just limp along. But if you raise the minimum wage, which I have never, ever made $10.10 an hour, I think that was a fortune. But you need that. If it, like I said, if it hadn't been for my dad that took me and my kids in after my mom passed away, we couldn't have made it. My kids luckily, my kids, none of them got in trouble. They all went to college on their own because I couldn't afford to send them. But they're all doing well. But poor old mom, she's scraping by on minimum wage. And what I found out when I was working, when I was younger, that the less you got paid, the harder you had to work. I mean, I've had lots of jobs for $3 an hour where I walked round and around tables picking up papers, hand collating things for $3 an hour in 108 degrees inside heat. And it just wears you out. And I didn't really want to retire when I was 62, but I had to. I was just so tired. I knew I couldn't make it much longer if I kept working. I did work as a VISTA volunteer for the last 2 years of my working life, and if it hadn't been for that, I don't know what I would have done. Because I used to be able to go to a temp agency and have a job the next day or 2 at the most. But after I turned 50, you couldn't pay people to hire me, no matter how good I was or how smart I was. Then when I came back, I did some volunteer work for visiting nurse services, which paid a little bit, but it didn't pay for the wear and tear on my car and all that, and I just couldn't do it. I needed the money, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't drive 300 miles a month on my old car. I think these poor people that are working now, that are making minimum wage, deserve to get a raise. And like that gentleman said, I mean, these companies can give a raise and maybe cut out one of their yachts or their airplanes or something, because people are dying out there, actually, because you can't afford an apartment, you can't afford a house, you can't afford utilities on minimum wage.
Thank you, Linda. That was wonderful.